Well, welcome in to My Dogs Are Barking on MPW Digital. My name is Landon. No Austin today for the show as we recap Arkansas and Mississippi State. Arkansas gets the 93-92 win over Mississippi State. State kind of figures out what their next task will be. At the SEC tournament, Mississippi State will be taking on LSU in the first round on Wednesday. You really always want to kind of avoid a Wednesday game, but State has done that to themselves over this last kind of stretch of games. So we're going to talk about that today, talk about the loss at Arkansas as RJ Melendez misses a chance to win the game there at the very end. We'll talk about that, but then also can discuss really what is next for this Mississippi State team. So we always appreciate you guys so much for stopping by. Had to sacrifice the camera today, so I had to pick between camera or a decent microphone. So imagine most people prefer not to look at what's on the camera anyway. So that way you can at least hear what's going on. But we will get into that. A lot of things to unpack from this game for Mississippi State. And really, as I've talked about, this is the best time of the year, man. A lot of good things are going to come down the pipe for the rest of the season because now it's like tournament season. And so next week you got just this random week in March where like on a Wednesday you're going to be locked into games. On a random Thursday you're going to be locked into like a 10 a.m. Tip for some random game between some mid-tier SEC teams. Excuse me. But if you're a Mississippi State fan, it might not be the most fun part of the year that you are hoping for. So we will get into that. I think there are some positives from this game, but certainly some negatives to look at along the way. So we will get into that and more. But first, we want to let you know that this episode is brought to you in part by Arpa's Coffee Bar there in Starkville in the heart of the Cotton District. I was looking for my Arpa's mug right here. And again, I forgot to bring it in here with me this time around. I use it like every single morning because it's a cool mug. But Arpa's, man, is a great place. It's located in the heart of the Cotton District there in Starkville. And look, if you've never tried Arpa's, go in there and try it out. It's a Venezuelan coffee shop, but it's so much more than a coffee shop. You go in there and get the Venezuelan burger, hot dog, all these different Venezuelan cuisines, the fries, and also just a great breakfast or brunch kind of spot. So go and check it out. And look, if you've never tried it before, go in there, mention that you're a listener of the My Dogs Are Barking podcast. You'd love to get the 15% off discount. Ask Jose. And you'll get 15% off. And so can't beat that. Trying something new, getting 15% off anyway. What do you have to lose, man? But if you know about ARPA's, you already know. So go ahead and enjoy the 15% off discount anyway. You can get it every single time you go in. Go in there every day if you need to. But ARPA's, man, check it out there in the Cotton District. And also, man, I'll tell you what, when it comes to Arkansas today, man, they were 42% from three. I mean, it seems like every single team shoots incredible against Mississippi State. There wasn't really a specific player. There were several different guys that really shot well. 3 different guys hit 3 threes, and just did tremendous. And they were money from three, man. 42, basically 43% from three. They were money, man. They were getting rich on the 3-pointers. But you know what, man? We talk about every episode. What does it even mean to be rich? Maybe it's less about reaching a magic number and more about discovering the magic in life. Skip Langley is your Batesville, Mississippi Edward Jones financial advisor, serving clients in the area and across the state. Count on him for financial strategies that can help you support a life you love, because the key to being rich is knowing what counts. So contact him today at 662-563-9843, and together you can find your rich. Edward Jones, member SIPC. So for Mississippi State in this game, I honestly thought they showed some they showed some things I didn't know if they had, and that is the ability to come back whenever things are going really negative. At one point, I believe Arkansas was leading by 14 there late in the game. It maybe 16. It might be a little more. And State climbed back and even took a lead there late in the game on the road. And that's the thing about this Mississippi State team. You can say many things about them, but they're not a team that gives up, even if they don't have the talent that other teams have. Which honestly, this Arkansas team has struggled, but like they don't have the talent overall that several of these Arkansas players have. They don't. So when you kind of look at this, they are a team that is going to fight no matter what and give it their all no matter what. And they did that in this game. Josh Hubbard had a tough day shooting. I mean, really tough day shooting the ball. 4 of 16 is pitiful, man. Pitiful. Had 6 free throws, but 17 points. Honestly, he was a real negative in the game, to be real. I mean, he hit some clutch shots, but he also had some he was 3 for 11 on 3-pointers and really put the team in a deficit in this game. And now as a team, State actually shot the ball pretty well compared to what they usually do, about 37.5% from three. So they were shooting that decently. Honestly, we saw Claudel Harris be able to take a larger load yet again. Like he just seems he seems to be a guy who consistently, or not consistently, but over the past couple of games has been able to hit big shots. I mean, he's 4 of 9 from 3 in this game. He was 6 of 11, had 18 points. Keyshawn Murphy was 6 of 11 as well, but had 13. Riley Kugel was 4 for 9. He was 50% from 3 with 12 points. Here's the thing about Kugel. Kugel did add some aspects of he honestly didn't play a lot in this game, overall kind of looking at it. But whenever he did play, well, I say that he played 23 minutes. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong stat. But when he did play, it's that last play that is going to be haunting him for a minute. It seems like an odd play that for Chris Jans to draw up for Kugel to take the last shot. I don't know if that was the case, or if they were just trying to, if he just could not get the ball to Hubbard. As I continued to watch him, I figured, okay, that might be what they're doing. Is they're not giving him a chance, giving Hubbard a chance or Claudel Harris a chance to be able to get open. But Riley Kugel kind of drove the ball and just looked lost and kind of threw up something anyway. RJ Melendez gets the shot back, almost kind of like a tip drill in 21. But they missed the shot, and RJ misses the shot. Mississippi State loses 93-92. But Kugel, same thing. Kugel missed some just kind of boneheaded plays. And speaking of boneheaded plays, man, I don't, Daquan Warren is just having a tough time, man. He's just having a difficult time. He's a true freshman, and I get it, he's in a big spot. But it seems like every time he's on the floor, some not so great things happen in this game. And so anyway, yeah, overall, I mean, State was able to, they were trailing most of this game and then finally ended up taking the lead back in the game. But there just was not enough people to help out Claudel Harris to me. I mean, Claudel hit the biggest shots. Josh Hubbard, he was so inefficient that it really, really hurt State after a while. State got to the free throw line and hit their free throws and were consistent on that part. RJ Melendez had a very good game. He was 4 for 7 overall, 2 of 3 from the 3-point line, had 10 points. I thought he was solid defensively as well, but they were going up against some opponents on the other side that are just insanely talented. And so DJ Wagner is a really, really good player. Carter Knox is a guy that it's like way down on the depth chart for Arkansas and yet can make some plays. Obviously, John L. Davis played well. And then Jonas Adu, who averages, I think, 6 points a game, had 21. I mean, that's like the story of this team's life, is a guy who doesn't play, a ton, gets to play some, and he really makes the most of his opportunity. But I felt like State had looked like they were not as lost on offense as they had been. The game before, Mississippi State just looked so lost on the offensive side of the ball, the past 3 games until today. And then Mississippi State finally today looked like, okay, I think that they have some sort of identity on offense again. Cam Matthews was driving again. Honestly, State plays the best when they play through Cam Matthews, not Josh Hubbard. Josh he shoots too much and can't hit enough shots. Offensively, though, State put 92 in this game. They had an 82 last game. 87 a few games ago versus Oklahoma. So their offense has gotten going. They're just not super efficient. And when I say them, honestly, I'm talking about Hubbard. Josh Hubbard just not been efficient for Mississippi State. So State finishes the season losing. So they get that win versus A&M on February 18th. And then of their last 5 games, they go 1 for 4. And it's not ideal. They finish 20-11. They finish 8-10 in the conference. And I know this is an incredibly deep conference, but Mississippi State was looked upon before today as an 8 seed. I mean, they were a 5 seed just a couple weeks ago, beating A&M, and then they have just fallen apart. And so now it's gotten to the point where State is they're not a bubble team, like they're in, but I think State is really flirting with a 9 seed, and they really need to avoid that going forward. But they've continued to lose. So when we come back, we're going to take a quick pause and hear some messages from MPW Digital. But when we come back, we're going to look at Mississippi State's matchup on Wednesday night, 6 p.m., right in time for Wednesday night church, man. So if if you're going to a Wednesday night Bible study, and you need the phone to be out, maybe on low, just kind of keep it out of the way of the teacher's view, or just put the phone up, man. This is kind of a great situation of kind of Jesus take the wheel. Like, you know what, if we lose this game, we're meant to lose. And if not, maybe, I won't watch it. Maybe the best will happen. But we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about Wednesday night and really what I think Mississippi State needs to do in order to get their biggest goal accomplished, which to me is winning one game in the NCAA tournament. I think that's the biggest goal. That's the biggest way we look at it as a plus going into next season. Is State has got to win a game in the NCAA tournament. And to do that, they've got to succeed at a couple things in Nashville. We'll be right back after this to talk about those things.
All MPW digital podcasts are brought to you by our friends at Parish Brewing Company, located in the heart of Cajun country in Broussard, Louisiana. Parish Brewing Company's simple goal is to make awesome craft brewed beer, and they do it remarkably well. The doctor is introducing their new go-to IPA, Dr. Juice. It's a highly crushable juice bomb, dry hopped with a blend of their favorite hand-selected hops from the Yakima Valley in Washington. Dr. Juice's drinkability is sneaky good, considering it clocks in at 6% ABV. The pour glows a rich cantaloupe hue with a thick frosted haze, soft mouthfeel, an aroma and taste that's full of passion fruit, papaya, and blood orange, making it drink like a glass of freshly squeezed juice. They also have Ghost in the Machine. It's a double IPA brewed with obscene quantities of hand-selected Citra hops from Yakima Valley. Expect pungent grapefruit flavors and aromas, tropical fruit, less harsh bitterness than most IPAs. Again, it's Parish Brewing Company. Wherever you get your beer, check out Parish. Make sure that you look for them, because any beer that you get from Parish is going to be absolutely outstanding. Thank you from MPW Digital. We're brought to you by Easy Hemp Company. Easy is a hemp-infused sparkling water. It's a guilt-free alcohol alternative, a natural way to relax and unwind. It's all natural. Made with real fruit, no added sugar, low calories, gluten-free. One 12-ounce can of Easy has 3 milligrams of THC. With Easy, it's easy to avoid the gummy scare and control your experience. So change the can, not the ritual. It's easy. Visit EasyHempCo.com to view the Easy Finder to find Easy near you. Easy is Farm Bill compliant with hemp derived from THC, CBD extracts. Easy is for people 21 and older. Enjoy responsibly.
To My Dogs Are Barking on MPW Digital. I'm Landon. And we're talking about how on Wednesday, Mississippi State is going on the road to Nashville. And if you're going up to Nashville, enjoy your time. Love Nashville. I'll be up there pretty soon. My job's located in Nashville, so every once in a while I get to go up there and hang out. A great city, even if the basketball is not going great for Mississippi State. If you're an SEC fan, that's a great place to go. So Mississippi State, though, traveling up to Nashville likely on Monday or Tuesday, because they've got a game Wednesday night. Mississippi State is the 10 seed in Nashville. They will be playing a first-round game against LSU. LSU, a team that they beat just a couple of weeks ago. What was it? Yeah, that was their last win, 81-69. LSU didn't play bad. LSU's been playing better, actually, as time's gone on. They're locked in a pretty tight game right now with Texas A&M as this is being recorded. But you think Mississippi State is feeling good going into that game? You think you would like their chances in this game? But here's what Chris Jans said about today's game and going into Wednesday. He said, "I know today's result isn't what anyone wanted, but I've continued confidence in this group, maybe more after this game than I did going into the game, because of how they competed when it was go time. We will have a bounce in our step, and we've won games down there every year," talking about the SEC tournament. "We will regroup and be ready to go for Wednesday." I think he makes a great point. State, again, offensively, they really showed out that they were ready to climb back in the game. They just did not hit enough shots. Defensively, obviously, they got some things to work on, man, because if Arkansas is scoring 93 on you, that's a bad look. And you know what's funny? I don't want to be right on this, but we were talking after the A&M win and Ole Miss win that I didn't feel good about Texas and Arkansas. I really thought State could beat Oklahoma, and they probably should have. But Texas can shoot and Arkansas could shoot. And I did not feel good about those two games, but I'm a little shocked that they lost both of them, or all three of them for sure. So State's got a lot to prove Wednesday. And we'll talk about this. We'll do a preview show, I believe, on Tuesday to kind of preview everything for the SEC tournament. But here's the thing about Mississippi State. What they have to do at the SEC tournament, I think, because the biggest picture is you want to win a game in the SEC, in the NCAA tournament. To do that, you really need to get off of the 8-9 seed line. It's just, I don't think State has enough talent to win an 8-9 seed because those games are already 50-50. You need to, and it's not as if 7-10 matchups don't end up in the favor of the teams that are on the 10 line, but State really has got some deficiencies this year, and that in order to win a game, you need the best possible matchup. And so I think State has to go to Nashville, obviously win Wednesday night, which I think they will do. Again, LSU's been playing better, but they don't have the shooting capability that other teams have versus Mississippi State. Because like this Arkansas team, Arkansas shot 42% from three. Well, a part of that, though, is that State's defense, playing with the help defense, allows people to get open easier. So Arkansas's got more chances at open shots. Well, LSU had those same chances, but LSU's just not as good of a shooting team. So I think Mississippi State's going to be able to beat LSU Wednesday. If they don't, I think they got bigger problems. But State, I really believe, has got to win Wednesday, and I think they got to win Thursday if they have any shot of climbing out of this hole of being an 8 seed. And even then, it's not guaranteed. They really need to win and somehow get to Saturday. But I don't think they've got that type of talent versus SEC teams. The good news is for Mississippi State is they've played all these teams before, and he played John Calipari 1,000 times. But these other teams in the NCAA tournament, these kind of one-off games, is a little bit different. So like I feel better because State's size really does kind of shock you whenever you see them live and in person, and kind of their intensity on defense. If you've never seen that before, they can be a little panicky. So I look at Mississippi State and think, man, you got to win Wednesday night, and you really, really need to win Thursday, which, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. So they'll play late Wednesday night, which tip-off scheduled till 6. If you know the SEC tournament, it usually goes later on. It usually doesn't actually tip off until 15, 20, 30 minutes till after it says. So I got Mississippi State winning that game, and then it really comes down to what the bracket looks like for Thursday. So we will take a look at that on, like I said, I believe we're having a show either Monday night or Tuesday morning. So we'll take a look at it and kind of fill you in, kind of get your thoughts. But I do want to know your thoughts on the SEC tournament. Alabama took down Auburn today on a last-second shot. Who do you think needs to win the SEC tournament most? Is there a particular team in the SEC you feel like, man, this is a team that doesn't look grand, but they really, really need this? Every team could really use it. But the SEC has got so many different teams. I got to tell you, like a team like Texas A&M, I feel like has really, really fallen off of the wagon. They're a team that could really use it, but I think Kentucky is a team that could end up winning the SEC tournament and really, really helping their chances. Probably ended up as a 3 seed in the NCAA tournament. I could definitely see that happening. So we'll keep our eye on that. Make sure you follow us on X or Twitter. It's just at MyDawgsPod. We thank everybody, thank our sponsors, thank MPW Digital, and we thank you guys so much for listening to the show. And until next time, we sure do appreciate you. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and Hail State. See you next time.